Hey, what's going on? Welcome back. I'm Dave Erickson. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. It means a lot to me and it helps support this channel. This week I have the 2019 Mazda CX-9er. Isn't this a nice little mid-sized three-row family passenger crossover SUV? This comes in 4 trim levels: Sport, Touring, Grand Touring, and Signature, available in front wheel and all-wheel drive. We have the Signature in all-wheel drive. A couple things are new this year with this. It's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto now available, a retuned suspension for a smoother ride, also a new surround view camera system. So that's pretty cool. I'll show you those things in today's video. So let's get started. Mid-size SUVs are not typically known for having sporty handling, but the CX-9 redefines those expectations with this vehicle. The 2019 CX-9 drives more like a smaller and spunkier sports sedan than an SUV. It's nimble on its feet and strong in its chassis. It offers some of the most exciting handling capabilities you can find on a vehicle in its class. First of all, it is a gorgeous day in North Spokane, Washington. Doesn't it look wonderful? But it's 16 degrees outside. The wind is blowing here and there, so I'm freezing. I know I should have brought gloves, but I forgot, so I got my coffee to keep me warm. Under the hood, 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission, 227 ponies, 310 pound-feet of torque. Mazda only has one engine available in the CX-9. Fuel economy is 20 city, 26 highway for our all-wheel drive. Again, front-wheel drive is standard, all-wheel drive is optional. We have this as standard because we have the Signature trim level. So each tier you go up, you get new things that are either standard or build upon the previous trim level. And with Signature, all-wheel drive is standard. Let's go inside. I'll show you my fuel economy numbers. Again, 20 city, 26 highway. Let's see what I got. Now that we're inside, let's fire it up. And I think I reset this, so I apologize. I was right there in the low 20s in my fuel economy, but my last set of driving shows me at 16.3. But I can show you on the display here, there's a 7-inch and 8-inch option. We have the 8-inch because we have the Signature. Now, with the Apple CarPlay, I'm gonna go over to the Mazda logo here, press enter. Under applications, go to fuel monitor, and you can see here, based on those bar heights, what the previous miles per gallon were. And my latest, dang it, I'm sorry, I reset, 16.3. It looks like it was a little bit higher on those previous drives, just a little bit. Again, it all depends on how aggressive you drive. Again, 20 city, 26 highway, and my last 56 miles, I'm averaging 16.3. But I haven't been driving too crazy, and I have not been driving on the highway much. It's more been around town because of our weather. A lot of SUVs in this segment manage to look contemporary, but do not really nail it when it comes to a luxurious appeal. The CX-9 embodies the high-quality interior design found in premium luxury vehicles without having the expensive price tag to match. The base sports trim has a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and the luxuries pile up, as I mentioned before, with each successive trim level. All the hard surfaces have a well-constructed feel to them, and there are no noticeable gaps or rattles while the vehicle is being driven. While we're here, I want to show you something on this screen. It's a touchscreen when you are parked, but when you start driving, you're not able to use the touchscreen, one of those safety features. So I'm going to go back to home. And then I'm gonna go to Apple CarPlay. So isn't that nice to have Apple CarPlay now available? So all I did was plug my phone in, and there are 2 USBs in here. One shows you it's a phone for that. Other one is kind of just more for charging. And it's all controlled by this dial down here, which is typical of Mazda. We do have a sport mode, which I've used that a few times. It makes a little bit of a difference, you can tell, because the rev points. And we've got all of the bells and whistles in terms of heated seat and cooled seats, or ventilated seats as they call them. So there's your climate controls, dual climate control. Steering wheel mounted controls, very typical here. Bluetooth left-hand side. You've got your adaptive cruise control there. Volume, changing channels. There it is on the left-hand side where you open the trunk. Surround view, here's what that looks like. This is that new feature this year. shows you 360. So camera up front, side mirrors, and behind. And you can hit this button here, which goes just one camera view, or individual sides, and break it down like that. So that's what it looks like this time around. And that's just by pressing that button over here to the left. If I press it again, we go back to the normal screen. Now if I put it into reverse, this is what we'll see, just like before. If you need to change it, press that button there.
This vehicle has a straight-on tracking sensibility, and making sharp turns yields a highly concise response from the steering to the driver. The steering effort builds up naturally. There's a great connection between the vehicle and the road performance. It's probably some of the best responsive steering that can be found on an SUV. There is virtually no trade-off between performance and comfort. Instead, they offer a fantastic blend of it with the CX-9 with some seriously comfortable seats. Regardless of where you sit in the vehicle, seats feel well bolstered and provide plenty of support during long car rides. As I'm about to show you with my backseat legroom and headroom demo, the second row seats slide and recline for additional comfort, and the third row is probably best left for children, but has seats that kids will be able to feel cozy in.
I am a big fan of the comfort in the back of a CX-9. I'm 5'11", freezing, and here is my position. Actually, this behind the passenger seat, so this is kind of back a little bit, but it's still a decent amount of space. I would show you behind the driver's seat, but as you can see, I have my infant car seat in that spot. So you can see how this can be a decent family SUV, family hauler, if you will, with the middle row with a car seat, and still some room here in the middle for another passenger if you want, and bring your toys with you. Headroom is good. Nice little indent here in the middle row. I really like the fact that you've got comfort in the middle row. It's that third row which is the bigger challenge. Before we get there, we do have climate controls here for our signature trim level. Little spots here behind the driver and passenger for some storage. Fold down armrest. Pair of cup holders there. Pop this up for some storage, and 2 more USB ports, which is always a plus in today's landscape of people charging their smartphones. And for ours, we also have this sunshade, which is perfect on a day like this. All right, let me show you the best I can the third row seating. So to get back here, I'm going to pull the seat forward a little bit here, which has some nice decent travel. Lean this forward by pulling this lever there. Now the third row doesn't move whatsoever. Now if I pull this forward, I don't have a lot of room for this passenger's legroom. So adults, not a good idea. Kids, no problemo. So cargo volume capacity, there's 3 ways to open it. First of all, there's a button just left the steering wheel. There's the old typical button here on the key fob, press and hold that. The third way, what you'll do here, is just right of the backup camera and below the Mazda logo, soft pad. You hear the beep. When it starts going up, you know you've done the right thing. So behind the third row is 14.4 cubic feet of volume, kind of a high floor height. So I don't know, some of these other SUVs are a bit lower, but this one seems to be a little bit, what they call it, lift over height. So you fold these down, and then if you fold down all 2 rows, you're looking at 71 and change, 71.2 I think it is, of total cargo capacity. Not great compared to the competition, which can be in the 80s or high 70s. And we have a 60-40 split right here. As you saw before, I have the infant car seat, so it's still in place. So that's why you have the 60% up and the 40% down. And then when you're ready to close it, press a button right here, closes, and when you walk away, you're, what I say is, good to go.
As I mentioned, it has a retuned suspension for a quieter ride quality, so the bumps in the road get smoothed over even better than before, and this retuned suspension helps the overall ride quality achieve a significantly more natural feel. With a thicker roof and floor mats adding to an extra level of insulation to the cabin, the CX-9 ups the ante in terms of refinement. As mentioned, this year we have the smartphone app integration with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There are also plenty of USB ports, and the Bose stereo system that comes on the higher trim levels provide crystal clear sound throughout the vehicle. The CX-9 offers a long list of driver aids. You've got blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert and a slow speed automatic emergency braking system, which comes standard on the base trim level. This is a nice bonus since other manufacturers continue to leave this as an option for their lower trim levels despite the demand that make them standard. I'm a big fan of the heads-up display, which also has traffic sign recognition. In fact, all the driver aids seem to respond appropriately and are not at all intrusive. You may find the visibility a little bit obscured. The design of the thick roof pillars on the CX-9 hinder visibility to an extent, at least when the vehicle is going through turns or trying to see out the rear. The rear windshield is also somewhat small. However, the standard blind spot monitoring system and camera come in handy there.
So the MSRP range on a brand new 2019 Mazda CX-9 is between 32 and 45 grand. Obviously, the new elements this year make it a little more attractive with that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, the retuned suspension, and that cool surround view camera. Of course, one of the big downsides in this category will be that third row seating as well as the cargo capacity compared to the competition. But other than that, it's definitely worth a look and absolutely a test drive. If you get that all-wheel drive, you can really have fun off-road. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. And again, it helps support this channel. We'll see you soon. Adios. One more thing before you go, I've added links to some of the best-selling automotive accessories on Amazon right now, along with links to some of my product reviews. You'll find it in the description below this video.